Remember that shining beacon on the hill, how it fell. Remember everything descending into hell. Remember when hope died, standing petrified, pretending everything we knew didn't just vaporize before our eyes. Keep moving forward, the promise we made, their violent intentions, existence will be erased. Your gentle light still shining down on me.
Down and give them hell. You were born to do this.
A natural leader. But you had something they didn't. Something no one saw but me. Can you guess? Luck. Was I wrong?
Hell yeah! That is how you start something
Awesome.
with a bang.
Hmm.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fan Battle Cast, where we, the fans, have a cast where we talk about our favorite battles that we pitched to the Death Battle team. I will be your host
Yeah.
for this evening, Bamalator, and with me here today, we have the Nuke brother, who is responsible for that amazing trailer.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make and pitch the matchup. I'm very excited to debate today.
I'm excited. And then we have Archive, who also will be debating today. Archive?
Hello?
We'll get back to that. Anyway, me will be a juror, and with me we have Stephen.
Hello there.
Yeah. Well, Nuke will be debating for Master Chief, as may be apparent from his profile picture. And Archive will be debating for our also charming commander, Shepard. Is there anything anyone wants said before we jump right into it?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Marka. I am going to be representing Commander Shepard in this debate. Can you guys hear me? Did I crash?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
hear you now.
Hope I didn't.
Yes, and as I forgot to mention, but I think that was fairly apparent by the trailer showing that today's
Now, can you
matchup
hear
is
me?
indeed.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we can
can.
hear you.
Yes, we hear you now. Yes, yes.
Yeah, the matchup is Master Chief versus Commander Shepard. I didn't say that, but I felt that was fairly obvious.
Mhm.
So I suppose there's nothing more to say than just jump right into it. Who would like to go first?
I don't really mind. It is my first time debating, so I'm cool with
Yeah.
Archive going first.
I'm gonna. You guys. I think Nuke can start. I gotta double check his setting.
All right,
Okay,
I'll do my best.
you'll do great.
So, I'm waiting for the timer to restart.
Yeah, I
Resume.
should probably introduce the segment as well. That Nuke will start with an opening statement of 60 seconds where he basically introduces the characters, and then Archive will do the same for his character, and then we'll debate more in depth later. This is just to get the basics out there. So if we could get that timer going.
So, Master Chief. Who is he? A lot of people will kind of have an idea of who he is, especially since, well, Chief had a very recent Death Battle episode, but I'll go over some of the small points. Chief is also known by a fair few other titles, one of those being John 117, as clearly shown by his chest there. Chief is a Spartan, specifically a Spartan 2, a genetically augmented human who was kidnapped as a child and thrown through insane training, experimentation essentially, and all sorts of other things, and then thrown directly into a war against humans, which then turned into a war against aliens, which then turned into a war against alien parasites, and then ancient aliens. Oh man, I went past that's 60. Well,
Don't worry about it. Just
I would say all of that against every enemy he's fought has been just bigger and stronger and more fearsome than the last. Saving the galaxy / universe multiple times over.
yeah,
And yeah, that's
Alright.
it for my opening statement.
Okay.
sounds good. So Archive, you ready to jump right into it?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Commander Shepard is known from Omega to Mars, from Omega to Mars, from the Citadel to the cities of Mars, from the reaches of space to the towers of and Grace, Ace. He is he slash she because they can either gender because they are an RPG character, or in a somewhat genetically enhanced super soldier, but not as drastically as Master Chief. They have gone through extensive training through the N7 program to become humanity's and the galaxy's not just their greatest soldier, but also the galaxy's greatest savior. Their shepherd against the darkness of an encroaching threat of the Reapers, a primordial race set on our destruction, but can't stop a man who has max charisma.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah. So there we have that. I guess the floor is open. Steve, you have any initial thoughts?
So throw me on the spot. I'm sorry. Who is the most experienced soldier out of these two?
Chief.
Oh,
I don't think there's any
that's
real.
not a question.
Yeah, there's no question about that. He's been fighting for longer against probably a more diverse set of enemies, or maybe just only slightly more. There's a fair amount of different enemy Shepard's faced along the years. Though by the nature of the Mass Effect universe, they all use very similar weaponry and technology, which, yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
a plot point they can get to discuss later. But if it comes up,
I believe like Master Chief has been fighting. I don't know the timeline that well of Halo, but he was taken as a kid and then trained,
taken
and then
kidnapped as an orphan at like the age of don't remember the exact age, but maybe I have it written down 6. The age of 6, he was kidnapped and thrown directly into the Spartan 2 program, which consisted of brutal training, then a set of augmentations at when he was like late teens, I think, from what I'm remembering, if not early adult, and then even more ruthless training. All for fighting human insurrectionists, which a lot are overkill, but Catherine Halsey, the person behind the project, got extremely lucky when the Covenant invaded. And the Spartans were the best defense against them.
We got the easy step out of the way.
Commander Shepard, I don't believe has an established like
at most 18 is when Shepard goes into the military.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he has an established like age. I was gonna say I'm assuming 30s.
No, he does.
Does he? All right.
Yeah, he has in the codex. There's a year of his birth, and I'm fairly certain somewhere there'll be somewhere
at his
posted
chat
birthday.
Shepard is 32.
Yeah. Okay, so 32. Yeah. So
because we know his birth year, and we know the Mass Effect takes place in each game. So
yeah, so max 14 years of military service. I've wanted to for Commander Shepard to kind of like look at them more of a canonical, because you can select between a multitude of options of both your class, your background, your psychological profile. I kind of want to base everything off of the default for a mixture of what I think you should give Shepard as well as character comparisons. Shepard was also an orphan
in one of the timelines,
yeah,
which I assume is the default one.
Yeah, that's the default. The default option is Earthborn and Soul Survivor. Earthborn, you were an orphan, and they were raised as orphan on the streets of the metropolis covering Earth, and they were mostly like a petty criminal. I don't think they were like being members of various gangs and all of that. You do run into a few of your gang members in Mass Effect 1 later on in your life. but they joined the military when they were 18 to escape that life, and which seems like a good idea until one of their first like deployments ended up with them fighting a thresher maw, which is a giant, terrifying kaiju in the universe of Mass Effect.
Yeah, you pretty much have to fight that thing with vehicles when you're playing in the game.
Well, you can
one
fight
time.
it. There is an example of you fighting it.
Yeah, Shepard
Well,
has essentially 1v1'd it, because you have squad mates there, but
like canonically, you got help, but in gameplay, no, they did
Yeah.
not help.
canonically though, it's at most a 1v3 with the
Yeah.
Freshmore being the one.
Yeah, thresher maws are giant kaiju's that can range like hundreds of meters. I think the largest
what
one
is
is
it?
like several kilometers. It's insane. But it's for but Shepard was able to in one of their first deployments was able to survive a thresher maw attack,
Oh, yeah.
and those things
Think-
can just eat tanks.
Think the worm creatures from Tremors, but giant.
Yeah, that also shoot acid.
Oh,
They also can, I think. Yeah, they also can survive being flung through space, hilariously enough.
Yeah, like
Or maybe that's just their eggs.
I think you might.
Yeah, they propagate essentially like dandelions.
Yeah,
It's
there's a lot
wild.
of lore we can go on the side of things, but
yeah. I actually wanted to, on the topic of treasure maws, you mentioned the car. Like, treasure maws obviously pretty badass, but speaking of the car, what are we going to give Shepard and Master Chief here?
That's a good question.
we actually did discuss this a little
We
bit.
did.
And
There are two ways to take it. You either
Two ways?
one, give them essentially default loadouts, or
Everything.
using the canonical luck of Chief and the fact that the Shepard is quite likely capable of calling down anything he needs from the Normandy, you could give them anything.
Ooh. Ooh.
you like I feel like it depends how you want to do it.
Yeah,
for
the
them.
simple way is obviously default, and
Well, I mean,
makes things easier, but there are a lot of interesting things you miss out on with that. So we can probably start with defaults and then move into exploring the wider range of options.
Okay.
that is fair. It is your debate, so do whatever you feel is best.
Meg.
I'll follow your lead, Nuke. I'm fine with whatever you want to cover first.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll start with what Chief's default equipment setup for the most part.
Yeah.
So, as far as default goes for Chief, it's pretty much just his UNSC weaponry, and there's a fair bit of range there, but most often it's an assault rifle and a sidearm. And those change between the games with different variants. But I think as of Infinite, it's the MA5D and Mark 50 sidekick, which is more of the sidekick is more like Glock kind of styled, which I don't like. I gotta admit, I've always preferred the classic Magnum look. Then obviously you've got
Powerful
grenades. In terms of power, honestly,
Is it the best weapon?
technically those weapons do still exist in the universe, and he should have access to them if you're giving him access to any UNSC weaponry. So, but as far as Infinite goes, it's just the Mark 50.
And the Mark 50 would be
The Glock style thing. We have
I can go a little bit into Shepard's main weapons as you pull up your stuff if you want.
sure.
Commander Shepard, it is a bit of an older series at this point. I think the last game that involved Commander Shepard was 2012, I believe, with Mass Effect 3. Obviously, well, Commander Shepard, he did have default weapons for a little bit, but after being deployed to go after a rogue, basically super agent called a Spectre. Spectres are basically, you have the full funding of all Alliance and Citadel like funding, and you have all jurisdiction, but we but however you want to do your missions, do it yourself. So he has access to it. So he has no regulations on what weapons he has to take into battle as like a normal soldier might. So he has access to weapons across all Citadel and Terminus system weaponry. Their only limitation, if we're going off of default, is that they can only carry, well, I always say only, but they can carry up to 5 weapons. 6 if you count the heavy slot that they no longer really have because that got rid of in Mass Effect 2, but you can pick them up and carry them, obviously. All the weapons in Mass Effect operate off of a very interesting principle. Some people may know this, but it may be a surprise to some of you. Can you throw up Shepard 3? Can you throw up Shepard 3 for me? If you can pull up that image to explain some. This is the core principle of all things around Mass Effect. So the term Mass Effect is not just like a really cool name, it's actually the basis of everything within this universe. All Citadel races and advanced races within the series discover Element 0, which allows them to harness a thing simply called the Mass Effect, which allows you to create tunnels where mass can go to 0 and the limitations of light speed are no longer applicable. And they figured out, and they went ahead and went, hey, let's put this into our guns if you want to throw up Shepard 2.
Yeah,
As one does.
So
this is one of the best parts, and
yeah, this is the coolest like sci-fi concepts, legitimately, the idea of the Mass Effect. Every single gun also operates off of this same principle, where they use Element 0 to basically allow little pieces of metal to have their mass reduced at such a low level that they can accelerate really fast.
yeah, it's described as being as big as a grain of sand.
Yeah, it's like, because it is kind of upsetting that they end up shifting to this idea in Mass Effect 2, but technically, no gun needs to reload. Every single gun has a block of metal inside of itself that it also has a very small computer that whenever you pull the trigger will sliver off just a small segment of that into a grain of sand and then mass accelerate it.
Archive, I do want to say
Yeah.
that part of the weapon is still
Yeah.
in the Mass Effect 2 and 3
Yeah.
guns. What
Oh,
they changed
yeah, I was
was
going to
the
explain. Well, I was saying like it doesn't.
self-cooling property.
Yeah, I was saying that they don't reload in traditional sense of like you're putting more bullets back into your gun. There is a thermal clip that allows your gun to rapidly cool down because all guns work off a cooldown system.
And there's an in-universe explanation for this, but it's dumb.
Yeah, so in the first game, all guns ran off a cooldown system. Like your gun would shoot, it would overheat, you would have to let it cool, and which was a really cool system. Honestly, replay Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition. The gameplay is actually pretty solid. Legitimately,
I can fully recommend it.
Yeah, but then they go, and then because they need to go for whatever reason to align with other shooters of the era, they went, let's make it so we have to reload guns that don't need to reload, and now they have thermal clips. In the in-universe reasoning is
There are a few exceptions, which I'm sure Archive
I'll
will
go
get
into
into
those.
later.
So all the guns. So now the reason why that they all need thermal clips now is that they amped up the firepower even further beyond what they were in Mass Effect 1, and the guns can get nutty. If you want me to keep going on this train, or have you collected your notes?
Yeah, I pulled up the firearms that Chief uses in Halo Infinite.
Okay, you can go then
And
if you want.
the Mark 50 Sidekick uses what is designated as 10 by 31 SAP rounds. So that's the size of the ammunition, which is, considering the fact that current real world rifles fire, what is it, 7.62 by 50.
Oh, depends on the general gun,
And
but yeah.
Okay. So they both have really powerful guns, like punch a hole through a person kind of guns.
Well, the issue is Halo has, here are realistic firearms outside of like the Covenant and the Forerunner guns.
For the
And
most
that-
part,
yeah.
UNSC weaponry isn't all that much more powerful, or at least in terms of the technology behind them, than what we currently have in reality.
The main
That
versus
doesn't
that-
exact. It is actually stronger in universe because, you know, fiction, but
yeah.
as far as the listed specifications, it's not that far out of the reach of human.
If we went off of, okay, let's just like, I think in universe the Halo like soldier guns aren't that impressive. Meanwhile, like in terms of what they can really do, the same thing as in Mass Effect. But there are examples in Mass Effect, at least Mass Effect 1, where just normal guns can blow up small building-sized, like turrets. Also, I can have a counter to that meme about that pistol. I can go into how normal guns can kill Reapers if you want.
Yeah, I think it's like we talked a little bit about guns, and if Halo has, you know, fairly realistic guns, what does Sheaf has to counter, like getting hit with what is essentially a light speed bullet?
It's basically a bullet-sized nuke.
Oh,
Yeah, the
actually,
big thing there is
if you actually,
that
okay, you go.
if
then
you
I'll-
pull up the image, Mjolnir armor, I will go into a little bit of a thing of that. So, over the years, right, Chief's appearance has changed between the games, obviously out of universe graphics, but in universe, every single time he's appeared, it has been a new variant of armor, as far as I understand it, or at least an upgrade to the one before it. By the time we get to Infinite, he's on a Generation 3 Mjolnir armor. And right from all the way back in Combat Evolved, his armor, this armor is capable of taking some insane hits. We all know the Havoc nuke thing with Hard Light, but obviously that's an outlier. But he is able to technically take shots from a Wraith, which I think are calculated to like 90 kilotons, and just keep on fighting.
Taking such a hit, does he just, like, you know, power through it, or?
I think he can. There's also the time he took a fall from space, which is not as impressive, but it is still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
There's
Shepard quote unquote survived falling from space as well.
yeah, his body was intact enough to rebuild, so that's at least something.
And unless they're saying Cerberus can resurrect the dead through science, he had to have some
Level of thing, because
like,
not only was he in space out of oxygen for a good few minutes, he then had to survive the fall to the planet he was above. Then Cerberus had to get there, fly down, pick him up, take him to a space station, which
and then
at
start.
minimum would have taken several hours.
I feel like that would be like, so I would say at least 24 hours he was just, you know, wherever the heck.
And then
he
it took
was.
them 2 years to rebuild him from that.
So like I don't know how he survived like 24 hours of effective zero protection in space. Like I don't, like, logically speaking. But he
It was a problem that was
brain it.
essentially a throw money at it until you figure it out kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it
Because
cost
for
him.
somehow Cerberus just had infinite resources to do it.
well, it's like trillions of dollars. I think it was like 2 trillion, or like it was like
Oh.
several.
Who even
I
knows?
think it was
That's
some.
expensive armor.
Value of it.
Well, it wasn't armor. That was just the resurrect Shepard after he.
Yeah, this is all. This is Shepard now.
Shepard's armor. Do I want to go into numbers? How you kind of went into the numbers? Like the
I
durability?
threw a few numbers out. You may as well.
Yeah, just
Okay,
throw
so-
numbers.
Well, Shepard's armor works with kinetic shielding. Everything works off that Mass Effect principle, and the kinetic shielding is your general bullets come at you. They use the Mass Effect fields to basically bounce off by projecting an opposite force, your general sci-fi. There is a caveat with it where they only operate. Did I send a shields image? I might not have, because I did. Yeah, I don't think I did. But basically, they only work off of anything that's high velocity. It'll just go like ricochet and bounce off, like here's your general shields. They are susceptible to low velocity attacks, which is weird. It's just the explanation for, oh, we did this so you can actually sit down without the chair just flying across the room.
Yeah. Science.
Yeah, so it's very funny. And that does come into play in one of the missions, primarily in Mass Effect 2, where you have to fight the Shadow Broker. The Shadow Broker is this intergalactic super criminal guy.
There was
And
a
you
shot
have-
of the. There was a shot in the trailer of
Yeah.
that from that mission.
Yes.
It is a
it's
bit of a. It is a fair bit of a spoiler, but
I'm
well,
I'm
it's a little spoiler for the mission.
Well, the
It's a,
game also.
it's a really cool mission. Mass Effect has some amazing DLC missions,
Yeah, it
including
came out 12
one
years
of-
ago.
including what is probably the best DLC in all of game.
Yeah, I'll go into that a little bit. I have some stuff to bring up with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, in that mission, you do fight a giant thing that's called like a Yogg, which I did math before, and I think it's like they would come out to like 900 kilograms heavy. And Shepard, because the way kinetic shielding works, it has a super kinetic shield that's beyond anything that anyone else has. And Shepard just goes, "I'll box it."
Yeah, he goes toe to toe with this thing in hand-to-hand combat. It's insane.
A thing that's 900 kilograms, like scaling off of how big it is versus a Krogan. So it just, and he's able to just box it, which is just funny. But the
It's
actual
very
like,
macho moment.
I
Like
think I'll
almost-
go. I think I'll go into the lower end for Shepard's durability numbers. So in Mass Effect, I'll say this: like you gave 90 kilotons for the Wraith cannon.
Yeah, that's what it seems to have been calculated. Because for everyone watching, I'm using the Chief versus Doomslayer G1 blog because it's just a very nice put together thing of all of Chief's various feats and calcs and stuff.
Yes. So in Mass Effect, there is a famous. Everyone will quote this till the end of time because it's very funny, explaining why Isaac Newton is the scariest son of a bitch in space.
Direct quote, by the way. Direct quote from Mass Effect.
That is one of the greatest. I love that quote because it's
That-
realistic. Because if you shoot a bullet in space, it's just going to keep going forever.
Yeah.
That's just unless it hits something. That's just why it's Isaac Newton.
Oh,
And
okay.
they do explain that the main cannons of like their destroyer vessels, they fire guns down a massive rail track that impact with, I believe, 32 kilotons of force. And like that's like a third of what you threw out. But Shepard should be able to be comparable of it because you do fight for multiple reasons. But I'm keeping with the low end. I'll ramp up slowly. And the reason why you can compare them is that it's shown in Mass Effect Andromeda that powerful biotics can just block that level of shots. Because in Mass Effect Andromeda, one of the like side missions or loyalty missions, you are fighting these alien species with the Ket. The Ket are equal to your own ships, and people with biotic force fields are just able to bounce that shit back. Things that should be comparable to rounds that are 32 kilotons, and these people with biotics can just go, no.
Uno reverse.
So, and
Low
Shepard,
end, by the way.
and Shepard can, like, he's beaten a very powerful Asari mixture from your generic Asaris to your Asari Commandos, which are like basically the equivalent of like Navy SEALs, but for Asari. Asari Matriarchs, which are the most powerful version of like a default Asari, and then even Reaper Tech Enhanced Asari that are called Banshees. And Asari are the most powerful biotic race.
And not even just regular Asari. Those Reaper enhanced ones, Banshees, are specifically
Are in
a
Yakshi.
subsect of Asari called Ardact Yakshi,
Yes. So he's able to beat.
which are
So
I don't remember the exact explanation.
I
But-
have the. I
Yeah,
do
whenever
have that,
they-
but it's not important.
And Asari have this thing where they can sort of merge, like meld their minds together with someone as a shared mental scape, but they also use it for procreation. It's a whole thing because it's a monogendered species, and that's how they,
Yeah.
have
They're-
children.
But
I was a little curious. If we could go back to the whole shield thing,
Yeah.
Yes.
how fast would something have to be to get through Shepard's shield?
of
Or slow
Fast-
to not activate it?
Oh,
sorry.
slow. That's
faster, like like
Mm.
there are some guns in Mass Effect that go, oh, we just shoot slugs. So slower than a bullet, faster than faster than a fist, slower than a bullet.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Somewhere in between faster than punch, slower than bullet is when those kinetic shields pop up.
Okay. Because-
Master Chief
I
gets
get
on
the
a bike.
question is probably aiming at can Chief's UNSC guns, which have a likely lower velocity, get through it? And I don't think
Yes.
they can.
I don't think
Okay.
that really
So,
would be very convenient. Like,
We can't.
oh,
I don't think we have proof of this, but I don't think they can.
yeah, I don't think I don't think it's unless it's like a freaky. I think there was one gun, but I can't find the quote, so I think it might have just been a misunderstanding. There was a thing. One of the Krogan guns, like Krogan are the really big turtle people. They're kind of like the turtle dinosaur people. Like, I believe one of their guns is stated, oh, they purposely use a very heavy but slower round to be extra effective against the kinetic barriers. But I cannot find that quote exactly. But it's very, very unlikely. Like big, like Master Chief's guns will be effective or able to bypass how, like the kinetic shields
Okay,
work.
so I'm looking here at how the Covenant energy shielding works, which is what Chief's shielding is based off, and what UNSC weapons regularly go up against. And it kind of seems to work on a similar principle where you can walk through them, but the bullets obviously are repelled by them.
Yeah,
Now, obviously, it's not a one-to-one comparison, but
I think it's a fair discussion.
given the fact that Covenant shielding also resists all the various weapons of the universe, then
Steven has something to say.
Yes.
So you're telling me that the bullets that are faster than a punch but slower than bullets. So you're saying I could dodge those bullets.
yeah,
I
that's the thing.
speaking of dodging the bullets and like dodging the bullets and speed in general, I think that'd be a good segment just to go
Yeah.
into the next one.
Excellent.
Start with Chief, because
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So while not Chief directly, there are some. Chief himself is able to run at 66 miles an hour, and he has a thruster pack that lets him move at
That's right.
very fast speeds,
I'm
including
supersonic.
this time where he used his thruster pack to catch up to a Covenant ship. If you pull up Chief Speed 1, I was thinking I was going to get more, but I've only got one direct image for this. So, this ship is traveling at 100 million kilometers an hour. And Chief uses his thruster pack to somehow catch up to this bitch.
That is insane.
Like,
How-
it's It's wild. Yeah, I know. It's shockingly confusing, but there is a. I've got a. Okay, I didn't throw the clip in here, but in Halo Wars, units such as the Arbiter are able to move in tandem with the beam of a Spartan laser, which is even faster. The ship thing here comes out to about 0.09 C from the G1 blog, and the Spartan laser thing, that's 0.31 C.
So about a third the speed of light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got some light speed stuff here.
Which I think Archive will have a pretty good comparison for.
Like so I could do like a calc stacking of like durability of Shepard versus.
There is one very direct feat, though, I think you can show.
I'll probably throw it up. I think there are guns in, like, there is a gun that's literally just called a particle rifle. Like, it's the there is like the weapons that are deliberately say, yes, this isn't just a pellet of sand moving really fast. There are weapons that are like, oh, these are shooting something that is light speed. You can dodge those. There is an example if you want to throw up Shepard 5 speed. If you want to throw up that image, it's the comic book. There are comic books for Mass Effect. There's also novels, and it's very with novels. It's really funny. One of those novels was declared so bad that they declared it non-canon.
What? How's that possible?
It went against every general preconceived like thematics of what Mass Effect is, and then and then the people who published it were like, yeah, this is non-canon.
Makes you wonder why they didn't do that with Paragon Lost.
Oh, man.
I'm going to bring up Paragon Lost.
I can't wait for it.
It's going to be so stupid when I bring up those numbers. But yeah, there's blatant, I can dash to the side away from light speed attacks because this is a collector
This is
technology.
This is a collector Praetorian
Yeah,
whose
Praetorian.
attacks are directly stated in the lore of the game, the Codex, to be particle beams.
Yeah, so.
And not only can Arya dodge it here, you can technically dodge it in Mass Effect 2, because I have...
It's really
I could
hard
dodge
to do.
it.
It's really hard to do, but
It is really hard to do, because it does move fast, but it's not a one-frame thing. You can technically dodge it. It's just impossible.
It is possible. There is a mod for Mass Effect 2 that imports the dodge rolls of Mass Effect 3 into 2, so you could compare it there.
And Shepard has an ability called Adrenaline Rush, which slows down perception of time, which sort of mirrors Chief's Spartan time thing. Which is quite neat.
I will, but yeah, both of them have, I can just dodge roll to the side. Their numbers are probably very comparable, right? Just like for their reaction speeds. But there is a thing that you brought up, and I have to bring this up because this is silly. You said,
Paragon Lost is an animated film.
I'm the one for Shepard. I know you love Shepard as well.
Okay, I'm still mad that you claimed Shepard.
Hey,
for anyone wondering, on Discord, the Duke brother, whose name has Mass Effect fan on it.
No, not currently, because Champions Island's going on, and I've got Hatsune Miku fan on there. But the moment it's over, I'm putting it right back to Mass Effect fan.
But I also love Mass Effect. I don't know if I love it as much as you, but I love it very deeply as well. So, I'll have to throw these things up in a little bit of sequence. So, I wanted to go off of the low end for the bullets in Mass Effect, and going off of what is stated for how the guns work. They shave off a pellet the size of a grain of sand and then shoot it. If you want to show up, and I'm sorry I named this one super stupidly, Shepard 2.5.5, to match the impact force of a standard 5.56 NATO round, which is a standard issue rifle round for the U.S. military. like going off of the mass of that pellet would have to be moving. Each and every bullet should be moving around Mach 1050,
Huh?
which is
That's-
insanely fast. And the thing that makes it really fucking stupid is in the movie Paragon Lost, which is not the best movie. it's it's the most upsetting like 5. It's like you all like if you're a Mass Effect fan, you watch, you're like, I feel nothing. It's supposed to explain stuff about Vega, who is a good character. Like once you get to know him, it's just not a good movie. One of the opening things in that movie, which I think is around the 13-minute mark, I don't know if you know the title of it, Nuke, because there might be a video with it.
Yeah, I put it in. I do actually have that.
Like, you will see as he's bringing it up.
It's called James Outrunning Bullets.
Yeah. And it's not just a brief burst like you generally see where it's dodging to the side of a beam with laser. He clears like 100. He does like 100-meter dash. Several bullets are passing by him, and the bullets are moving relatively slow motion.
If you don't have it, I can send the link.
Like, I thought we had the link, but it's not that important to show. In that movie, if you can look this up yourself, in that scene, it's showing that characters like Vega, who obviously you compare to and are better than, can run prolonged distances the same speed as the high velocity rounds that are shot by your rifles. So Commander Shepard should be able to run at well over Mach 1000. Meanwhile, Chief's legs explode at 66 miles per hour.
Admittedly,
So-
that is him running for. Oh, let me see if I've written.
It's
okay.
Like even like the reaction speeds, like because it's
He
always weird
ran
because-
that. It was half a kilometer in 17 seconds. So it was a short burst. But his first attack is able to,
Yeah, I
and he
was,
should be comparable to
just
the 0.31C thing.
it's like their reaction speeds and all of that, like short bursts of movement, they are comparable with the whole like 10 to 30% the speed of light stuff. But if it's over a longer distance, Shepard is way faster.
Yeah.
Is he? Because Mach 1000 is slower than light speed.
Well,
Yeah,
well, the point-
we're more comparing to the direct particle beams and stuff here.
well, like
Oh.
I'm saying,
They've
Oh,
both
okay.
got the ability to scale to relativistic stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
the issue with this, and I've asked this in versus chats a lot. Like if look at people, people will say
It's more that
Batman.
Chief is stated to be like at the 66 miles per hour thing at a running speed consistently, where there's the Mach 1000 here. That is a seemingly consistent running speed for not even Shepard, but for regular Marines in Mass Effect.
Yeah, the Marines do have genetic enhancements.
This would be like comparing Chief to UNSC ODSTs, probably, given the scaling levels, or more.
I'm not gonna. I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna and plus.
No,
we
what I'm
see-
saying is to
yeah.
compare Mass Effect Marines to Shepard is like comparing Chief to ODSTs.
Yeah, it's insane.
And on that topic of ODSTs, there is the time where Chief, when he was 14, 1v4'd a group of ODSTs.
Yeah.
Now, in the clip, there's 3, but in the book that the movie Fall of Reach is based on, there's 4. If you want to pull up the Chief versus ODSTs.mp4,
If you were a threat,
as you can see, young Chief. Yeah. Across the room. Now, these aren't regular Marines. ODSTs are like essentially the top of the top before the Spartans. And he is just absolutely ruining these guys.
And he has this emotionless face as he's doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he also looks to be quite a lot younger than they.
Yeah, he's 14 in this clip.
Yeah, he is 14 in this clip.
Mm.
He's just built. Like, he's literally built different. Well, he's reassembled different. More like.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I was curious because okay, so Shepard is faster
Yeah, like
in the long run.
In the long run, whereas their combat speeds are probably pretty even.
Yeah, I did want to point out that the thruster pack you brought up earlier should be faster than Shepard. So like, Chief shouldn't be that outmatched.
Yeah,
like-
it's even enough with their speeds to sort of match up.
yeah, the question is like I don't know the fuel capacity of that thruster pack versus I'm just running. There are Shepard should be able to fight for 20 hours straight because there are statements for N7s, which is like the human like super like Navy SEAL equivalent, yada yada.
Yeah,
Where they go like
training that people have canonically died from.
yeah, people like they are stated to be able to go for 20 hours. So if this like I think Master Chief probably has a feat that beats that, but like I'm just saying like when
Almost
if it's
certainly.
going like how long I can run versus how long that jetpack can last, Shepard would be coming out ahead.
Then the question boils down a little then to if they're comparable in speed and they both have these weapons and shields, how do they kill each other?
That is a good question.
Well, they can't.
This is where I think Archive you should go into Shepard's various RPG abilities.
Okay, so I think I'll start with the one that is that's also one of the famous aspects of Mass Effect. If you want to throw up Shepard 4 Biotics. So biotics are basically space magic,
Basically the Force, but original. I have to imagine it was
Yeah,
based
so
on
the
BioWare's
way
work with Knights of the Old Republic.
The way that biotics work is that people learn how to manipulate dark energy and energy through Mass Effect fields to create a variety of effects. A lot of them tend to be gravity based because mass is kind of like the thing. Though I do want to mostly focus on the core. In the way Mass Effect works is RPG. You select multiple 2 classes, but I kind of want to go with default Shepard. But
I
even
do have an
Shepard-
argument for Shepard being able to use stuff from
Oh, I was
all
going to
the
go into that,
classes,
man. I was going to go into that.
which will come up later. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to make it. I just wanted to bring it up because it was part of my pitch.
So, in Mass Effect 1, you are it's like it goes like, okay, what's your background? And you select your default, and default is just soldier. But in the post Mass Effect 2, when they rebuild you, kind of like how Master Chief was built while they were building Shepard, and there are statements in game about this and confirmations, I think, in other parts of the lore where they rebuilt Commander Shepard better, including giving him the ability to do biotics, because post Mass Effect 2, you do get access to doing various bonus powers, including being able to do biotics.
You get bonus powers in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, like I was saying, like 2 onward.
Well, yeah, but you said post 2, which implies.
Oh, I meant like
after 2.
post the beginning. Like I guess I said it wrong, but either way. And so he can do biotics. He can do space magic, and space magic allows you to do a lot of things. There are statements saying that you can, like Liara just straight up says, and Liara is a Asari, and with her biotic powers, she can just melt people's minds. Obviously, it's hard to scale Shepard 1-to-1 with all of them, but he will have the general like default abilities of biotics would have. How powerful those would be and how variety would be is a question.
There's a
There-
very cool scene in Mass Effect 2 where a biotic, her name is Jack, takes on 3 giant mechs using her biotics. Now, Shepard doesn't scale directly to that because Jack is engineered to be the strongest human biotic,
And
but it's
so, so this
not
is
too
a
far out of the reach.
yeah. So this is a question. This is a question that I want to address before I go into like what he can do with biotics. In Mass Effect, they changed this moving forward, like after Mass Effect 1, this is no longer a thing. But in Mass Effect 1, and this is the question for both you jury members and then to Nuke. In Mass Effect 1, biotics just work on everybody, regardless if they have shields. Like if you can, like they can go and biotic powers and several that Commander Shepard has access to can literally just directly affect your brain, and then also make it so you're unable to move. Like, and you just these things that just affect your nervous system, affect your cognitive abilities, affect your ability to move, your ability to even be able to determine who's friend, who's foe. Biotics, you can just like Jedi mind hand trick wave at them, and even if they have full shields, it works.
Wow.
I think the big thing there is that
Wow.
in the switch from 1 to 2, they added they reworked the gameplay entirely.
Well, like
And
remove
added now you've got the ability to have health, shields,
and
armor, or a biotic barrier.
yeah. So biotic barrier, and also
Biotic
could just-
barriers and shields are sort of
yeah.
interchangeable in Mass Effect in terms of the gameplay.
Yeah, like I
But-
think you could argue like biotic shieldings are better at
Oh yeah,
blocking biotic
absolutely.
ability.
Because biotic shielding
Yeah.
doesn't have the kinetic speed issue. It just
It works on
blocks
everything.
shit.
There is a question. So, in universe, you could just have the logical argument of, oh, like remove like gameplay design. You could have the logical argument of, like, oh, they just developed because there is a time skip from 1 to 2. They say like, oh, within that time frame, they
It is a big time jump.
yeah,
It's
it's
2 years.
Yeah, in 2 years they just
So
made their shields better so they can now block biotics.
yeah,
But like there's no reason in Halo where they would have technology that would be blocking it.
I feel like you could compare it purely off of the fact that not only is Halo several hundred years later in terms of humanity,
yeah.
but also it's all kind of based off of Promethean technology at the end of the day, and that shit's
Well,
insane.
Here's going to be the yes or no with this. Like I don't want this to sound like a dick or trying to shut you down fully. Is there any statement saying it blocks dark energy? Because biotics have the dark statement saying the way that they work is manipulating dark energy. So if you can't, so so you can't just like this is not to be a dick to you or any statement. This is just like a
No, it's a fair question.
Like you can't just say, oh, they both have shields. They should be able to block everything. If the Halo shields do not say, oh, we can block dark energy and like you're kind of fucked. And there's a direct showing because the way that like you can use telekinesis is through gravity powers with biotics in Mass Effect 4, pretty sure it's 4, where you fight the I forget his name. He was like a precursor dude. He uses telekinesis against you, and if
Actually, that's fair. Actually,
and then
I
you
suppose that's a
like,
good argument against Chief Shields and Armor being able to
I don't
stop
think.
it. But then also, can you really compare Mass Effect biotics to Promethean level?
Well, no, it's a simple like. Well, he's using telekinesis and Chiefs.
Yeah, but there's different power.
Like I know, but I'm just
of it.
using like the best. Like if this was a like if they made this into a death battle, they
Yeah,
would 100%.
it would
show
absolutely be a
his-
question that they'd have to deal with.
No, I'm saying like if this was a death battle, they're like adding clips together. They would be like, can he resist biotics? And they're like, well, here's the showing that biotics can do telekinesis. Here's the showing
Yeah.
where Chief's shields can't stop telekinesis.
I'm gonna. The issue is getting a little muddled here, I feel. But so Shepard has biotics, telekinesis, messing with your mind. that
Yeah,
kind of
even
stuff.
using pure soldier as the class, the bonus powers are enough to. There's enough bonus powers that are wild and thing to.
I do have a big list of that,
Crazy
but
stuff.
I would only go over that in specification if people have questions.
Yeah, but and then you brought up Prometheans and the fact that Sheaf is susceptible to that kind of thing. Is there anything Sheaf has to get through that? Because if I remember correctly in the game, he does like get free of the telekinesis.
Yeah, my big argument here is that because of how biotics in 2 and 3 don't work on specifically shields and armor, and there are very clear showings of this, that Chief's Mjolnir armor, which has survived all of this feats of durability, should be enough to at least block it for a time.
Like if it can't block dark energy, it's for me it's a hard like argument personally.
Yeah.
But what are some specific win cons you for Chief? Because there's been a lot for Shepard.
I suppose my big one,
Yeah.
The Promethean weapons, such as the incineration cannon and binary rifle. Along with the fact that I think in close quarters, I feel fairly certain the Chief skill would be enough to take Shepard out in hand-to-hand combat if they can get close enough.
Can
Because
he?
neither.
Sorry.
What were you saying?
Can he resist getting his mind melted?
Like can Halo shield? Like that's a question that's like at the end because
I feel like this might be a time to also bring up Cortana / the weapon, as that would be a big part of Chief's thing here.
Sure.
Because everybody knows how insane these two are, and
Yes.
and there's a decent amount of stuff on Shepard's side that is tech based, which these two could very likely shut down, whichever one you go with. Now Shepard has access to Edie, who is also an AI, but there's a specific thing where Cortana apparently decrypts a 128,000 bit modulating encryption key, and the amount of processing power or energy that would take is
infinite. I ran the math.
Basically infinite.
Basically infinite. It's so absurd.
It's insane. Not even just that, right? But there's AI that are weaker than Cortana, which are able to process tasks at speeds that far surpass light speed. And Cortana and the weapon themselves are capable of performing 1 trillion calculations per second. And one of those weaker AI were able to simulate over 1 billion years within, I don't know if it says the time period, but still.
The trillions of calculations per second, like, is a very weak, like a normal computer can do trillions of operations. That's just like the writers don't fully understand how computers work, but
I thought it was impressive. Okay,
I know. I'm just saying,
well.
like, I know.
Does
I
Edie
suppose I
have,
got scoped into the same thing as the writers way. Trillions a
Edie
big number.
So
does Edie have anything impressive that can compete with Cortana and weapon?
numerically, like, I'm not going like the question. Like, Edie would have 100% get overwhelmed and hacked. Like, that's not a question in my opinion. Like, it'd be a question of like how like it would take.
I know
a
I'm
little
debating
bit.
for Chief here, but I feel like ED could stand at least somewhat of a chance because of being made directly to counter the Reapers, who
I was
have
about to go into the
millions of
Reapers.
years of experience.
The Reapers, the largest numerical number is that is stated. It was in Mass Effect 3, I believe. Edie, because now the Reapers show up, and you have to actually fight them directly. Edie was able to take a Reaper. I forget the specific name, but she was like, okay, Reapers operate like this. They have 1 million different, or like at bare minimum 1 million endlessly permutating computer processes inside of them that all operate individually, and this is also supported by statements of Geth, because like Geth themselves is a powerful bit of software, but you like an individual Geth is like itself like a little computer, but you can get like thousands, if not millions, and shove them into specific computing units. A Reaper, every single one of those little computings, to a Geth, is like 1,000 Geth. So like I'm not going to like try to calc stuff. They're super advanced hypercomputers. I don't know the number because Mass Effect doesn't go that deep into the computing numbers of stuff as Halo does. But like you could argue that ED would be able to hold her own, like if she's supporting Shepard in this fight, at least for a little bit.
Would ED play into this, or Cortana is in the suit, right? In Master
Yes.
Chief's suit.
In Mass Effect, they have what are called quantum entanglement communicators, which can communicate between any 2 points in the Milky Way galaxy instantly.
Yeah, instantaneously. Yeah.
Instantaneously. And there's also the fact that while you're on a planet, you can talk to people across the galaxy.
Well, so
if you have the right technology.
In ED, there are multiple missions where like you're talking to ED through your like helmet, earpiece, yada yada,
Yeah.
and she's able to hack through doors and all that.
She's also able to function if ED has a mobile platform where she can function in that mobile platform even if the access between the android and the ship is cut off.
Yeah, there is one. Like I don't want to fully bring it up, but I feel like this is like I'm going to like go into this. I'm going to try to have you counter it because I don't know the higher numbers that you can throw like Chief up to. And this one, other people like it's really dumb. I don't like it, but it's a thing that Shepard can survive. Can you like because let's say that Cortana is able to turn off Shepard's shields because there are powers in Mass Effect like called hacking, sabotage, etc., that can overload shields. So it's not that hard to argue that Cortana could obviously just turn off Shepard's shield. But I'm going to show a feat that Shepard survived without any shields. Can you throw up Shepard 8? If allowed. Okay. This is okay. I saw that when you
Right,
renamed it. You
yes.
said no, he didn't. I saw that. That's a lie. Okay. At the end of Mass Effect 3, Shepard gets fucked up after he gets blasted by Harbinger, the most powerful Reaper, hits him with a laser, which that's also a feat that he just survives, even though that's in the hundreds of kilotons range. But this is an explosion that Shepard, the ending of the game, you go up to the Citadel and you have to hit the big red button to send an energy pulse throughout the galaxy to kill all the Reapers. But you hitting that button causes the Citadel to explode. And if I could, I felt like doing it, but I don't know if it would have made it too stupid. Shepard's in the dead center of this.
Yeah.
The dead center of it.
Oh
like,
boy.
like a comedic arrow pointing at the, like, you are here. Dead middle. He has no shields. He is half dead. He's bleeding out. And he's in the middle of that. And the Citadel is freaking huge.
He doesn't survive it? What?
There is a small like central ring. Like the Citadel is like one of the most iconic things in Mass Effect, if not like it's like it's up there. It's like top 3 most iconic things for the series. There's a giant central ring, which the game does go into the math a lot for these areas, and it says that's 7.2 kilometers in diameter, and this explosion is 4 times that size, and I've mathed it out. That's 9.38 megatons like of an explosion right there, and Shepard's in the dead center of it, and he has no shields, no nothing. And if you did the game like 100% or whatever. They get rid of the percentage when they remastered it. Shepard survives with no shields, like minutes away from death. And
Are
he
you sure?
survives this with nothing. I don't think you should give this. I find it stupid. But he does this. The reason why I don't think you should give it, because it seems so stupid to me. But it's a feat. It's really hard to argue. No, like, well, like, I think, no, he's in the dead center of this. There,
Yeah, it's
the
it's
podcast
stupid.
god is against you.
There's another really stupid feat from the end of Mass Effect 3 that I calculated the speed for myself.
Okay, that one
Yeah,
one's
which
way
is
more valid.
is stupidly it's a stupid outline. Let me.
No,
Right.
don't, like, you don't need to throw up that. You can.
It
Like,
basically takes how fast. There's a shot of the entire galaxy, and it shows the wave from the Citadel weapon crucible thing here, moving between the various mass relays of the galaxy, which are basically how the ships travel across giant distances, and
it's like, it's absurdly fast.
using how fast the beam moved in the cutscene and comparing and calculating that, it was moving at 348 billion times the speed of light, and the Normandy was outrunning it. Or, well, it wasn't fully outrunning it, but it was like
Ahead.
very close. It was like just the wave
did
was
have a head
catching up,
start.
but only just.
Yeah.
And Joker is piloting the ship with assistance from Edie, which means they have to be able to deal with the ship moving that fast, because of course they do.
And
Not only that, if you don't believe that, I also have a more direct thing of Joker exiting the Normandy, exiting a mass relay, and then Joker immediately having to react to something.
Not DC Joker.
Which that comes out even faster. For some
do.
fuck off reason.
Yeah, but so I know there is, and the question, and there's always the question of like, does AP equal durability? And Shepard is one of the few characters where it's like the funniest example of why his AP equals durability. If you want to throw up Shepard 1, just because I think this is a funny image, and then I'll throw this fully over to you to counter this. Shepard, once you're ready.
I do have another durability feat for Chief that's in the yes.
I had to make sure people understood that
this is when you get to
evil
discuss the best part of Mass Effect.
Like, I'm not going to go into the story because then we'll be here for 20 hours.
The short story is that this is a clone.
What?
This is evil Shepard.
Yeah, this is evil Shepard. Shepard fights himself and he beats himself. So he has the clearest example of, yes, all of the things I can do, I can resist and I can beat.
That is fair, yeah.
I do have a better durability feat for Chief here, where it's another Halo Wars feat, but Spartans can survive minimal exposure to a Covenant glassing beam for a few seconds, which comes out to somewhere in the range of 45 megatons per second.
45 megatons? Bigger than the 130 million ton feet thing?
Admittedly, I didn't see the glassing beam when I'd gone through this before, but...
Okay. We've been going for a while, so I want to see if there's anything that you want to anything you feel like I haven't touched on this. I really want to bring this up that haven't come up naturally.
I feel very good. I'm open to answering questions, but I'm solid for the most part.
Nope.
I think I'm pretty good where I'm at. I mean, I think Shepard's probably faster, but I think given everything that Chief has in terms of, I think Chief physically is better, and I think their weapons probably match pretty well. I honestly don't know who wins this personally. It's really a toss-up for me,
Oh,
but I guess we'll see.
yeah, physical
I mean-
strength, by the way, does go, like, Shepard does scale to the Krogans, and Krogans can, like, lift 9 tons, but we've seen Shepard, I'm not Shepard Chief, just, like, flip elephants, which are, like, 220, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not
Steven?
like actual elephants. There's a vehicle in Halo 3 called an elephant on the desert map. I don't remember the name of it,
Yeah, it's fine.
but Spartans can just flip that over.
Yeah, so.
I suppose that means he can
But
also flip like actual elephants.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think an elephant's, like what, 6 tons at max? So, like, he could pick up an, like, wait, that means both of them could pick up an
Both of them could do it.
Like, that would be the funniest, like, PETA, like, save the elephants, and just shows, like, Master Chief and Shepard with elephants on their back, just slow.
Oh man.
Because mathematically they can.
Who would be better at flipping an elephant?
Well, like, one guy can manipulate gravity, so in theory, like, even though Master Chief is physically, like, stronger, like, Shepard can, like, make an elephant lighter, and you're like, so this is the question: who can flip an elephant with more style? I think it goes to Shepard.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I wanted to ask Steve, do you have any like questions, anything you feel is unclear?
I do have one question. Can Master Chief dance?
Better than Shepard, I can almost guarantee it.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay,
Because
going
Shepard is canonically a terrible dancer.
okay, going off of the greatest wingman in all of gaming, Garrus Vicarian, he does say if the Reapers saw Shepard dancing, they would either kill themselves or they would fall in love. So technically speaking, in terms of AP, Shepard's dancing.
Can Chief
Yeah,
counter dance?
Shepard just does his dance, and then Chief just breaks out Fortnite moves for some reason.
I will say, like, it happened like very early on. There is, if we went into meme arguments, this is a really funny thing. There are, like, I've done math, like the nukes in Mass Effect are teratons, like I think like 4 teratons going off of, like, you do see a nuclear explosion, it's 4 teratons, it's absurd. And you could scale arguably Reapers to that. And this was gonna be the ultimate meme argument. In Mass Effect 1, it was an Easter egg, and they removed it, which was really upsetting. In Mass Effect 1, it opens up with you seeing a Reaper flying into space. It's such a cool cinematic shot. And if that was your second playthrough, like, you beat the game, you pulled out a gun and shot at that Reaper once, it dies, and the credits roll. That was an Easter egg. So, 4 Teraton bullets, let's go. Like, that's the ultimate meme. Anyway.
Yeah. That would be so funny if that was something you took seriously and just shoot Chief, he evaporates. One thing I was a little curious about, and one thing that I think was kind of left in the dust, is the shields. Because if Shepard's shield can resist both the really fast bullets and the really slow biotics, like the biotic shield.
Well, if you give Shepard a biotic barrier, then that's what works against the slow ones.
Like, if we're talking, like, could he resist getting punched in the face by Master Chief? Probably not, because that's how the shields work.
But an energy sword would probably just go right through it like butter.
Yeah, unless but like, biotic shield could probably block it. So
Maybe.
So, but if the question, I don't think there's any statement in Halo saying that Spartan shields can block dark energy. So,
to be fair, I don't think Halo's ever had to deal with dark energy directly like that.
Yeah, that's
that's one of these things that comes from reverse equalization.
yeah.
It's an interesting thing to look into, though.
Yeah, but I'll just go quickly into my final argument just to summarize. I honestly think all Mass Effect guns, like Halo, has good guns, but they're unless we go like with Forerunner guns and Covenant guns, Master Chief default guns are realistic versus sci-fi guns. So going off of speeds, even though like in brief bursts they're equal, over time Master Chief would be slower than Chimera Shepard, going off of the fact that they can just run as fast as their bullets. The shields in Halo have no direct statement saying that they can resist biotic power because it's dark energy, dark matter,
Yeah,
and
it's absolutely something to try and look into.
bare naked Shepard. Like again, it's such a stupid thing. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Bare naked Shepard can survive megatons worth of explosion. So,
All right. Okay. Solid arguments. Nuke, any final says for Sheaf?
Well, I think the big thing is just that this, the glassing thing, Halo Wars, that's a weaker set of armor than what Chief currently has. So his durability should scale past the 45 megaton thing just off the surface. I don't know how much more exactly, but it should be more. Because the Halo War Spartans are probably using Mjolnir armor comparable to like CE and 2, I think. I don't remember the exact timeline. But I think Chief should just be physically stronger to enough to at least have the advantage there.
All right. So, Steve, how do you feel?
Well, I could say for sure that Master Chief can dodge a bullet that's slower than a punch, faster than a punch, but slower than a bullet. So there's that. Then the podcast guy has been rooting for Master Chief so much. And Master Chief's a better dancer, so I'm gonna have to vote for Master Chief on this.
Okay. Yeah. I also want to bring up that Esteban in chat did say before that that's one of his favorite quotes now. Slower than a bullet, but faster than a punch.
well, that's how the shields work. That's just how they. That's
Yeah,
literally fluff.
that is literally how Mass Effect shields work. It's just
that and you were being too nice in this debate. Hey, I want some bloodshed.
Yeah. Oh.
Like if Master Chief's bullets were like 300 miles per hour, they wouldn't matter. Like they would bypass the shields, but Commander Shepard would casually be dodging that shit.
yeah.
Also fair. So we have one vote for Chief. I see the poll is live in chat. And where am I leaning? Well, it does sound like Chief is stronger, and he certainly has experience on his side. But I fail to see how he's going to get past the biotics, the like just being lifted or having his brain scrambled. I do think it's difficult for Chief to get past that, even with the vast experience and the.
I do want to just bring up if you're going to go with there's no argument in Halo for shields and armor resisting dark energy, I'm going to come right back at you and say there's no argument in Mass Effect that says that Cortana couldn't just shut off the biotic amp that Shepard uses.
Well, the argument would be the biotic amps are literally amps. You can still do biotics without having any amps in your system. It's just a little bit less focused. So.
Yeah. Well, even though like Chief's thruster seemed to like put him on par with Shepard or even beyond, that only lasts for so long. And I think Shepard seems to have just the edge in versatility. So I'm going to throw my vote out for Commander Shepard, probably. Leaving us with a 1-1. So the poll will settle this. And looking at the chat, we have a 62% for Master Chief.
Yeah.
Giving Master Chief 2 against 1. Congratulations, Nuke.
Cool.
I,
Your first win. Congratulations.
Indeed, Master Chief.
Unexpected, but awesome.
like I'm like I don't know, like I don't get like part of me is like, yeah, I just I'm looking at that, I'm like it's really funny that like the fucking like, oh, Shepard being naked can survive being in the heart of a 9.4 megaton nuke.
It was debunked by the podcast god.
It's true.
But like, what's the like? It's to me as a Mass Effect fan, I go like, well, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No,
But
it
I'm
does
like-
not.
But like, if this was a, but what's the counter argument other than that doesn't make sense? He's literally in the epicenter of that explosion.
Again, it is.
There are multiple.
I do want to say
endings.
it is survive, not be able to do anything afterwards.
Well, I said like bare naked, like because he survived at being bare naked in it. Like obviously, his shields are gonna massively upskill his that base durability. Because apparently that's his base durability.
Apparently.
Which it's so stupid.
Yeah,
Yes,
but it is there.
Yeah, that is fair. It is one of three.
Okay.
No, it's one of 4 endings to Mass Effect.
Well, in the Legendary Edition, the Legendary Edition, which is like, okay, we give you all the DLC, all of the graphics are updated, yada yada yada. The ending will be Shepard survives. No, Legendary only lets you have destroy.
Right.
What?
I believe so.
What?
Seriously?
Did it-
No,
I
it
could be
doesn't.
wrong.
I've played through it.
Well,
I have
either
played
way,
Legendary
so
Edition
the way
more than once.
okay,
You still
way
get the choice endings.
okay, I could be wrong with it, but
Wow.
well, here's
Admittedly,
the
though,
thing.
the reason
the
he
wa-
dies in the other 2 choices is because he gets essentially disintegrated
Yeah,
by
he-
the catalyst.
Yeah,
Wow.
By
here's the-
choice. By
Well,
choice.
the reason why
It's-
I think it's canon is
Oh.
because
Story
the only
thing.
way he could survive it before is if you had 100% readiness.
Oh,
That's
Oh boy.
uh,
Wait.
the reason why that him surviving the explosion to me is canon is because in Legendary, before it was, oh, if you have 100% readiness, Commander Shepard will survive. They got rid of the readiness, so
Yeah.
now he just survives if you select destroy.
yeah. I see your argument there. And for anyone who doesn't know, the readiness thing it was linked to the multiplayer. You could play the multiplayer, and
Technically, it's
All
still
right,
on
now
Xbox.
now they can
Alrighty.
hear me. I had to fix some of my
Well,
OBS. It's fucked up.
but since they didn't include the multiplayer in the remaster, god damn you, BioWare!
It's a really good multiplayer, by the way.
It really is.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry that I hijacked the ending a little bit. I had to defend myself real quick about
So,
why I called it bullshit.
Well, going off of the legendary is saying, yeah, Shepard survives
Alright,
and the
hold on.
destroy ending.
Okay, hold on. So we are going to put a pin in that. That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm hijacking a little bit, but Nuke, you pitched this matchup, so
I very much did.
and you also made the trailer, very fire trailer.
Which I think it's funny that I'm one of a select group of people who pitched a matchup for a character that then also just got an episode during the process.
Yeah.
It's just
Hey, no,
It's-
it's a good episode because Chief.
I like the episode. I have the most reason out of anyone to hate that episode, but I don't because it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yes, and also if Chief came back, it would be cool as shit because there was
It
a lot
really
they didn't
is.
explore with Chief. But let's.
Yeah, because they really didn't seem to explore any of the Covenant or Promethean stuff pass the energy sword.
Yeah. So, Nuke, your floor is yours. Why'd you pitch this matchup? Why do you love this matchup?
All right. As I have mentioned a few times here and there, I have played Mass Effect from front to end many times. And I have fallen in love with every aspect of it. I mean, the characters are top tier, the gameplay is awesome, the powers, the technology, everything is just so cool. As for why Chief, it's because there's just so many thematic connections between the two, which go real deep into who they are as characters. Like, they're both, starting with some of the small ones, you know, they're both John, as a default name for Shepard. But there's also, somewhat recently, within like the last couple of months, a revamped connections list has been put together, which I will read some of them off. The big overarching one is that both of them are iconic intergalactic heroes who are the protagonists of their respective, very influential and genre-defining sci-fi franchises. Because obviously Halo is like the big first-person shooter console thing, Xbox debut, and then Mass Effect, big pusher of the whole RPG system, the dialogue wheel, and all that. Both of the stories kind of start with a humanity that has fairly recently entered the galactic scene and are of the underdog newcomers for humanity's military and exploratory thing. And one of Shepard's backstories, obviously, is him being an orphan. Chief is also an orphan in the start of his story. They've got tragic lives up to and including their military service, kind of. Both of them went through very, very rigorous training that killed other people, that being the N7 program for Shepard and the Spartan program for Chief. Obviously, one of them is kind of more than the other, but quite interestingly, both of them had a very specific mission where they were in a zero-G environment with very little oxygen, or like basically nothing, and had to survive until they couldn't anymore. They've both gone under various different augmentations and gene therapy, boosting their immune systems and physical prowess. Obviously, the Spartan augmentations are more extreme, but Shepard's were still enough to, I mean, in those 2 years, he got brought back to life. They've got a lot of various futuristic tech and weapons, a lot of alien stuff. They've got very iconic energy blades that they can make use of. The energy sword and Shepard's Omni Blade, which is a very cool thing because it just like folds out, and also it can be basically any shape that Shepard wants it to be.
It's a banger matchup. I love this matchup, and I love Mass Effect. So.
Something else they both share is that they've both got an older mentor-style character in Anderson and Johnson, who themselves were the first attempt at what the main characters end up being, because Anderson was humanity's first choice for becoming a Spectre, which was essentially the most it's like basically the CIA for the Galactic Council in space. But like the most they can do anything to accomplish their mission, and they tend to be the best at what they do. And then Johnson also was apparently part of the Orion project, which got retroactively dubbed as the Spartan 1 thing. and then they serve as kind of mentors. Yeah, there's a lot more here.
Yeah. There is a
It's
place
very
where
good.
you talk about matchups, isn't there, Nuke?
Yes, there is something I've been doing kind of on my own time with various people coming in and out. I think I've only got 2 up right now on my YouTube channel, which is under the same name as my name here. And I will be editing the food one and putting it up hopefully sometime in the next week. Going over, and the entire intention of that is to try and go over the connections of each matchup in a deeper way, kind of like a version of Battle Panther, essentially, just a bit deeper.
Hmm. Yeah, so if they're if people are interested in this particular matchup, like the connection you listed now, or like some of them.
And oh yeah, something I need to mention about that videos is it's spawned from a survey that I had up months ago at this point, where people were just ranking the pitch matchups based on which one they'd want to see more. Just to get like an order to throw them in for fun. And when the videos get to the top 10, it's going to be quite fun because there are a few kind of unexpected ones, at least to me, but it's very cool to see.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of work. This matchup is fucking fire. I'm going to be honest.
Oh yeah, and as a part of my pitch, Stephen there did a animatic for me, and it was very good.
I did indeed.
Nice.
And it was all from a competition that he managed to win.
Yes, very luckily. And sadly, I don't have the pitch recording on my YouTube channel because I messed up with the audio and video when trying to record it. But I went back and essentially recorded myself going through it. And that is on my channel, so people can check out the presentation I made for it also on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah, so go check out Nuke Brothers' channel. The brother is honestly putting in a lot of work, and we love to see it. I really do love this matchup because, one, I've just started playing Mass Effect recently, as you can see in my opinion below.
Yeah.
I think it's very solid. And it just, like, it's rare.
If you love Garrus, there's a thing you can do in Mass Effect 3 that is an insanely powerful build, and it's so much fun.
All right, you're going to have to give me the details when I get to Mass Effect 3. I'll DM you about that later.
Yeah.
What really makes this interesting for me is, for all the matchups with Chief, I'm only talking mainly as just a dude who's known Halo for so long. There's rarely a matchup that I feel like actually focuses on, like, the hero of humanity shit.
Yeah.
Like, obviously with Samus, there was always comparisons with Samus, and it's mainly because Haloid is such an excellent video. And with Doomslayer, all of those are built, one, they're both Space Marines, but two, just how important they both are to the FPS genre, which is why I love it. But this is more of, like, their
character.
Their actual roles in the story of, like,
that too.
We're supposed to be the best of humanity, what humanity has to offer.
You can also kind of compare the Reapers to the Flood in a sort of sense. So they both fight a galactic spanning enemy that threatens all of existence. Well, all of their existence.
All right. Does anyone else have anything to add?
No, I think
No.
All right.
I think I've said everything I want to say.
Yeah,
Alright.
I do also like that character connection of like them being the shepherds of humanity. Her.
That's why it's called Shepard.
Yeah.
Actually,
It took me this long to realize that's why it's called Shepard.
No, that's not why he's called Shepard.
Oh,
That
thank
does
God. I'm
kind of
not
play
stupid.
into it, but the reason that he is called Shepard is after the first American in space, Alan Shepard. That is also why it is spelled that specific way.
Ah.
I'm back.
We love games that do their research on history.
Yep.
Yeah. Plus
Alright.
points.
It's quite a nice nod.
Flood versus. Someone did mention in chat that Flood versus Reapers would be an interesting matchup.
It would.
Well,
I have a number of Mass Effect matchups because there's myself, and then there's one guy on Reddit called like Seaworthiness, same and a few numbers. The two of us are basically the main proponents of pushing Mass Effect matchups for versus, and there's one other big one that I came up with myself, which is Kasumi Goto versus Sombra from Overwatch. And on top of that, there was a surprising amount of matchups between Overwatch and Mass Effect that it somehow manages to be better than the series comparison between Overwatch and Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, I find it like the scale, like the character comparisons I can imagine, but like in terms of like who actually wins, there's not a question in my mind for that.
It's closer than Team Fortress 2, that's for sure.
Well, at the end of the day,
Overwatch has kind of got some weird sciencey stuff, but I would probably give it to Mass Effect at the end of the day.
I do have the legitimate question. Like, I don't know if we're still live.
Oh no, I was about to end stream.
So
I was just about to say we should probably.
All right,
okay,
so
we'll
we are
wrap it up
going
and then,
to end stream. Thank you all so much for joining us. There is a cast planned. I know we usually say when the next cast is happening. We don't know when that's happening, but we're still going. Stay tuned. See y'all next time.